Hello, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm Roadkill, and today we're going to be flying this helicopter in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 through a tour of Glacier Park. So buckle up and let's get ready to fly. But before we do, hit that like and subscribe button, also the notification bell, so that you can keep up to date on all my latest videos. Leave a comment down below where you like to fly and why. I'd love to hear from you. With that out of the way, let's get to flying. Alright, I don't know how to turn on anything in this aircraft because it's new to me. I was kind of hoping to have some lights on the dash, but we can go without that. We need to get flying here. We're taking off from Glacier Park International with my lovely co-pilot here that doesn't say much, but she's there for moral support. So let's take off towards Glacier Park and see what we can see along the way. And yes, I know I'm not following procedure when taking off, but that's okay. We're having fun today. It's been a while since I've made a video, so I apologize to those that follow me. I've had one heck of a summer. Been working multiple jobs, and my wife's been working long hours, so that leaves me to do the cooking and cleaning on top of multiple jobs, so I haven't had really a lot of time to fly. And I think the last time you saw me, I was flying in Microsoft 2020, or Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I didn't have the best internet back when this came out. I think my speed was 11 megabytes per second, and that was 1 megabyte per second faster than what I needed to run this game, and I got it on launch, and I spent at least 8 hours trying to get the game to work, and it was crashing and stuck in a loading screen. So I refunded my money, got a refund on my money through Steam, and didn't get this game until recently, since I have an internet upgrade. I got some Starlink internet, and it seems to work just fine with this. And luckily, I bought this just probably a week ago, and they just came out with Sim Update 3, I think. And before Sim Update 3, I guess this was really, really unoptimized and just horrible to try to fly in, from what I heard on videos. But for me, this game flies just as well, if not better, than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But then again, I had the horrible internet, so I don't know what it was like for you all with good internet before. But I am enjoying this. The scenery looks a little better than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The trees look a lot better. You can get out and walk around if you want, which is pretty cool, especially if you go up into places like Glacier Park or wherever you want to go. And if you're in VR, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I could park a helicopter on a mountain and watch the sunset or the sunrise in VR, and it's like I'm there. But I don't know, I'm checking the traffic out down here. It seems to run smoother, but that's probably because I have better internet. It doesn't look much better than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but that's my opinion. I don't see much of a difference there. The trees and rocks, however, look way better. And they change color with seasons. See, I'm flying live weather, and we're in autumn here, and you can see some of the trees are turning. So that's pretty cool. I must say the water looks better. And I have almost everything on high setting. There's a couple ultra, but other than that, I don't have a good enough video card to run the ultra. I have a 3080, and whenever I try to do ultra graphics on this, it gets really bad. And I think that's just because it's being streamed from the internet. I did download some airplanes so that it didn't take up much memory. And I did rolling cache, or cache, however you want to pronounce it, so that it downloads the scenery so it's a little smoother in places that you fly a lot. And I did download some of the world updates as well, which help with the speed and the smoothness of the game. But so far I'm really liking it. It's surprised me. I wasn't sure when I bought this just a couple days ago whether or not I was going to get or try to refund it after a day or so. But it seems to work great. After I got everything figured out, it was really choppy at first, but that was due to my settings. I had to figure out the settings for my VR, and once I did that, it's really smooth. Yeah, let's get down here a little bit here. Get closer to the trees. One of the things I learned is when you crash in 2024, you don't have to start all over again. It respawns you where you crashed in the air, which is pretty cool, especially if you're flying multiplayer with friends. You don't have to wait for them to catch up with you, or you don't have to turn around. If you're in a long flight, I mean, you can click on the person flying and spawn on them, but that's an extra step. That's just a pain in the butt. So having this new feature where you crash and you spawn where you crashed is really cool. I was kind of hoping there'd be some wind so there'd be waves on the water, but we've got not clear sky, but not much wind here today, and the water's like mirrors, which is pretty. Figured we'd do a morning flight into Glacier Park and check things out. Now, I forgot to fuel up, so I hope I have enough fuel. Where's the fuel gauge on this thing? Right there. I think we should have enough fuel. If not, I might have to pause it and find the fuel setting to refuel it. There's also a setting where you have unlimited fuel, so you don't have to worry about fuel. If that's your thing, you can make this as arcade-ish as you want, or as hard as you want, just from the settings. The settings are crazy in this game. You can customize it to the way you like it. I'm going to try to get low to the water here and see what we got down here, what the graphics are like. Now, I'm not sure if I have the reflections. I don't think I have the reflections on high, which I might have to change because the reflections make it even more immersive. Yeah, I think I have them on like medium, just because you can't see the detail of the mountains and the reflections. That's one of the things that looks really cool in this game. that I think they've done a really good job on. But fortunately, I don't have them set to high, so you can't see it. Flying over Lake McDonald here. Flying into Glacier Park here, just outside of Columbia Falls and Hungry Horse. Take you up the canyon, up over Logan's Pass, and just fly around the mountains up here. Looks like we got some snow last night. Last time I was flying, like 2 days ago, I flew through here and there was no snow on the mountains, so must have got snow over the weekend. Which means they probably closed the Going to the Sun Road. And pretty soon the road will be closed completely. Snow is coming. Yeah, I did the live weather and I was thinking, man, I hope it's not cloudy in Glacier Park. Looks like it is a little bit on the higher peaks there, but they're high level clouds there, so we don't have to worry about it. I guess maybe I do have the reflections on high. They're showing up pretty good there in the water there. I guess you just have to be closer to pick those up. That's pretty cool. I believe that's Apgar Village down there. That's where all the tourists go to stay when they come to see Glacier Park. And the Going to the Sun Highway down below us. I got McDonald Creek feeding McDonald Lake from the glaciers, running through this canyon. I don't know what that lake is there. Down below, I don't know what that's called. I didn't even know that was there. This is where the flight starts to get really pretty. I mean, it was really pretty flying over Lake McDonald, don't get me wrong, but I love the mountains and flight sim. It's just something that I enjoy a lot. We have Heaven's Peak off to the left here. And man, it's been a while. Mount Clements. Is that Mount Clements? I think that's what that is. I don't know. I've been to the top of that peak there. Well, not that one. It's behind. Is it Clements? Mount Clements? I can't remember. I guess I could turn on the name tags or whatever. Over to the right here, we've got Avalanche Lake. Right there. Down below, that's a nice little hike. You do the Trail of the Cedars and then you go off to the right there. I guess we could check that out. I'll fly back over it when we get up here. But that's Avalanche Lake down there. First time I hiked that trail, there was a black bear just chilling. It's like, that's not good. But it didn't even care that we were there. Didn't care one bit. So if you see that line straight ahead of us on the mountainside, that's the Going to the Sun Highway. If you've never been to Glacier Park, you drive along that all the way up to Logan's Pass, and then you can drive down to St. Mary's, which is in Canada. So there's the Canadian line's right up here. Once you get over the mountains. Yeah, this is I've climbed on these cliff sides here on some of my mountain excursions. Almost died on one of them, and that was not fun. We got stuck in a thunderstorm up here, and just barely made it out alive. In fact, it was this mountain here that I'm looking at that we climbed to the top of, and then when we were on top of that, the thunderstorm rolled in and pushed in, and about a quarter of the way up that cliffside, you see that line there? That's a goat trail. We were on that goat trail hiking out, thunder crashing around, snow pouring down on us in August. So yeah, that was the last time I hiked up here like that. I've been to Hidden Lake and whatnot, but I don't do the mountaintop climbing anymore. Here we go. Going to the Sun Road is down below, and Logan's Visitor Center, Logan's Pass Visitor Center, is straight ahead down below. And I'll take you over Logan's Visitor Center. You see that path down there? That's a Hidden Lake trail. We'll fly down over to Hidden Lake here. That's a cool hike if you can make it. Make sure you bring bear spray because there's grizzlies up here. But you also see bighorn sheep and mountain goats all over the place here, and prairie dogs that like to try to get you to feed them crackers. I'm going to slow down a bit here so we don't go over speed. This is Hidden Lake right here. Fly over Hidden Lake. Yeah, the hike down to Hidden Lake, if you can do that, that's so beautiful down below. It's a beautiful lake. It's one of my favorite places to go in Glacier Park. Fairly family-friendly trail. It's a boardwalk, really. I'm going to try to climb up here so we can get back to Avalanche Lake. Yeah, the Hidden Lake's a family-friendly trail. There's a bunch of other lakes up here that you can hike to that I haven't been on or been to yet. That aren't too family-friendly. I mean, depends on how athletic your family is or willing to go hiking. But we look over this cliff here. That's Avalanche Lake there, and the reason they call that Avalanche Lake is because the snow on these cliff sides here avalanche in the spring, and you can watch the avalanche from down below, which I haven't done. Over there to the left is a glacier. I'm not sure what glacier that is, if it's Grinnell Glacier or not, but that's a glacier. To the right is the canyon we flew up. And we're going to take a flight back to Kalispell on land and call it a flight. Actually, you know what we might do? We might fly into the bush. What is that called? Reynolds Field? I can't remember. There's a recent couple air crashes airplane crashes there, and the last one somebody died, I believe, which is too bad. We'll land there. I haven't checked that out in 2024 yet, so that'll be pretty cool to see. Also, if you haven't given helicopters a chance in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I highly recommend it, because you get to sightsee like never before. And then in, did I say 2020? 2020 or 2024, you just fly the helicopters. That, and you can get out and walk around if you want. So that's pretty cool. You can land on that hill and jump out of the helicopter and walk around if you want. Alright, let's see if we can get some speed here without ripping off the rotor. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice sunrise. Pinks, blues. We got a little bit of moon in there. We'll fly down here and then we'll land at the bush site. In fact, you have to pay a fee to become a member to use that airstrip, but they've got cabins and campsites for you to stay at if you so choose. If you have an airplane or a helicopter, I'm sure you can fly there and use that campground to camp out, which I think would be pretty cool. I would do it if I had the money and an airplane. Or a friend with an airplane. We are just leaving Lake McDonald now, and we're going to bank to the left here. Make it to this bush landing strip. Not too far away. And we'll call it a flight. This landing strip's pretty fun to try to land at. It's a little challenging, but not too hard. Unless you're flying a big plane or a fast plane that is a little too big for the runway. I don't think I've ever landed a helicopter here yet, so this will be a first. The approach from Glacier Park is pretty interesting, because you got to get up over this edge here, or this ledge here, and it's just down below it. So it can be kind of tricky managing your speed and alignment. But I'm in a helicopter, so I can just make it up as I go instead of just trying to plan. I can fly around and hover. But where'd it go? I am in the wrong area. No, there it is. No, that's not it. Oh, it's this hill here. Okay. I thought it was that hill back there, but it's just up over this ridge here. Unless it's not in the Microsoft 2024. I thought it was back there. I'm going to spin back around here because I thought you flew. We're going to check this out. I may have flew over it already. Yeah, it's that hill there. Okay, here it is. I almost flew by it. I was on the wrong hill. I'm not used to approaching it in a helicopter, so yeah, here it is. So you can see it's kind of you gotta land from that direction towards her, and make your way in. So it can be a sketchy approach. But this is the one that requires a membership to land at. It's got cool little cabins that you can stay in. It's just a really cool place. I think they even supply firewood for you. Let's see, it does look a little more defined than it does in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Let's see here, where am I going to land? I'm going to land down here by the cabins. Yeah, over to the left here is where all the cabins are. All right. So we'll land right here and call her good. Well, thanks for flying with me. That was kind of a cool little flight in a helicopter. I'll have to do that some more in some different aircraft. Maybe not on video, but maybe if it is good weather and cool timing, I'll do it. But thanks for flying. Have a great weekend, or whatever you have ahead of you. Stay safe. Godspeed.